The three pillars of memoir writing. Writing a memoir requires a lot of time and energy, but you can do it. You can succeed in writing a memoir. Many people, just like you, have done so already. In this masterclass video, I want to share a system with you for getting started on writing a memoir. As with so many projects you might undertake, you can reinvent the wheel, or you can plug into a system that has already been shown to work. My memoir network has helped thousands of people just like you to write personal and family stories. Our proven system can help you too to write a memoir. The system that I have found to be best for launching new writers, and many practiced writers also, has three parts to it. For those of you who do not know me, I am Denis Ledoux. I'm a writer, I'm a teacher, and I'm the founder of the Memoir Network. I'm so pleased that you have joined me today. This masterclass is brought to you by the Memoir Network's coaching services. A writing coach offers you just-in-time solutions, be it encouraging you to persevere, providing you technical assistance, teaching specific writing skills, prompting you to action, counseling you through writing blocks, and planning a writing schedule. Set up a complimentary Get Acquainted session by going to the address listed in the description of this video. And I'll also have a bonus waiting for you at the end of this video. Three pillars I group here are also covered in different videos listed in this YouTube channel, so you'll want to study them. Pillar number 1. When writing a memoir, always create a memory list at the beginning. A memory list, for those of you who don't know what it is a list of everything you remember, either in your life or in the life of the person you are writing about, or instead of memory listing an entire life, you can choose a part of a life, the period you are currently writing about. In fact, I usually ask people to choose some small period of their intended memoir and to make a memory list of that time. What does the memory list contain? The memory list contains anything you can remember, from the small details. I had a red tricycle when I was 3, to the very, very important, my father died when I was 9. Every distinct item on the list should be on a different line and ought to have at least 3 to 5 words so that you will remember the memory later. 2 months in the future, hat may not bring your Uncle Bert's fishing hat to mind, but if you jot down Uncle Bert's fishing hat, you will be reminded of exactly what you wanted to be writing about. Pillar number 2. Start writing a memoir from anywhere in the story you want to start at on that particular day that you're writing. Many writers think they have to start from where they presume the story will begin or where it ought to begin in the finished book. This is not, however, the best approach. The reader's experience of beginning to read your memoir on page 1 of the finished book and your experience of beginning to write your memoir today, let's say, are almost always never the same. Start writing your story from whatever memory most impels you to write right now, at this moment. We write best, after all, when we are viscerally interested in what we are writing about. Where that story that now interests you will fit into the whole of your memoir may become apparent to you only much later. Do not worry about that now. Your first written piece may very well fit in at the beginning of your memoir, and then it might very well fit in at some later page, say page 115. The placement of a story into the whole of the text is a task for later. To each period of your writing, there is an appropriate task. Writing a story goes before finding the place for a story in the whole of your memoir. Pillar number 3. In my writing a memoir system, it is okay and probably best to write in short segments, in vignettes and in scenes. Many writers feel they must write entire stories and even more, an entire memoir from the outset. This belief that a writer has to be writing completed pieces in one shot, even an entire book of a memoir, can be very paralyzing. The writer who writes this way becomes burdened by the seemingly huge task of writing my memoir. The task of writing an entire memoir then becomes overwhelming, almost superhuman. Let me explain. Every memoir can be considered to be a collection of stories, a collection of vignettes and scenes. In a sense, we might call a memoir an anthology of stories or a collection of stories. Frankly, no one should ever sit down to write an entire book. We all ought to write only parts of a book. Think in terms of writing only parts of your memoir and rewarding yourself for having succeeded at that part. You will find the whole experience of writing a memoir to be a lot easier and a lot more enjoyable if you set yourself the task of writing only parts of it at a time and be satisfied with only one part. All of my own books have always been written in parts. Just like you, I would have been daunted if, from the onset, I had dwelt on the thought of writing a memoir in its entirety. Imagine sitting down and thinking, here I go on the composition of 300 pages that will take me 2 years to complete. I don't know about you, but assigning myself that big of a task would dampen my spirits a bit. Instead, I always focus on writing parts of a book on any given day. In conclusion, let me repeat that my 3 pillars for writing a memoir successfully, the memory lists, starting anywhere you want to start, and writing a memoir in parts and pieces, will work for you as they have for so many others, for me, for instance. There are other pillars when you do a rewrite and when you do a final edit of your memoir. I will share these with you in other videos. If you would like to explore receiving help with your writing process or any aspect of memoir writing, know that we offer a 30-minute complimentary get-to-know-you coaching consultation. Oh, and before you go, here's the bonus I promised you, a link to our video explaining the 7 basic elements of a memoir. That video will also help you to be more focused in your writing. Good luck writing your memoir, and remember, inch by inch, it's a cinch, yard by yard, it's hard.